Hey everyone, welcome back to another Flutter Firebase tutorial. In this video, we are going to learn how we can use phone number authentication in our Flutter app. First, let's see the demo. When I click on login with phone, it will open the dialog box and ask the phone number with country code. I'll just provide my phone number. You need to provide your valid phone number. Until you have provided your valid number, it will show the error. I have provided my phone number and I'll try to send the OTP to verify the phone. Send the OTP. First it will verify you are robot or not. After that it will navigate back and OTP send in our phone successfully. And I'll get my OTP and I'll provide my OTP here. And I'll verify the OTP. If you provide the wrong OTP, then it will show the error message. I have provided the exact OTP that I have get and I have successfully verified and authenticate using the phone number. Okay, by this way, we can successfully authenticate using the phone number. After this demo, let's start the complete video. Okay, let's start the complete video. In this video, we are going to learn how we can implement the phone authentication in our Flutter app. You can see I have already completed the email password authentication in our previous tutorial. If you want to learn, you can watch my previous tutorial. We have achieved this using the professional way that you can implement in your app that you are launching. We have used the river port to manage the state. We have not only launched, but at the same time, we have also created one scalable app. Okay, let's create the one button here for phone authentication. If this button is clicked, then we have opened the dialog box to put the phone number. I have used the size box. Inside the size box, I have provided the width of this button. Initially, I'll take the width full width, max finite width, and I'll just take the 50 height of the button. We have required the elevated button here. Elevated button in on press. Initially, I'll make it empty. Child of this elevated button will be the row. Inside this row, we have put the two things, which is icon of the phone and the text. We have used the network image. I'm going to use this image, but you can use any image that you have like it. And I have set the height of this image will be 30 and color of this image is white. After that, next widget of this row will be the text. Inside this text, I'll pass login with phone. Just simply add the style. Color will be white. Font size 18 and font weight W600. Similarly, I'll just design the elevated button. Style. This style takes the elevated button dot style form. Elevated button dot style form. Inside this style, first we'll set elevation tends to 0 and background color I'll set the blue 400. Color dot blue 400. Next will be the shape of this elevated button, rounded rectangular border with border radius 12. Okay, that's it. We are not going to focus on the UI part. In row, I'll just set the main axis alignment dot center and I'll just give the width between this icon and the text. That's it for this button. Okay, inside this on press, I'll call the show dialog box. Show dialog, it takes the context and the builder. Inside the builder, it will text the build context and I'll return the dialog. It will open the dialog when we click it. Okay, and simply I'll give the shape of this dialog will be the rounded rectangular border radius, and set the border radius will be the circular 20. After the shape of this dialog, next things will be the child. Inside the child, I'll take the container, set the padding 16 from the all side. Width will be I'll use the media query dot of context dot size dot width, and I'll text the 0.93% of the total height from each device. If we use the media query instead of the fixed width, it will text the 0.93% of the total width of this device. Okay, and child of this container will be the phone authentication screen dialog. Inside the auth screen, I'll create the new file and give the name called phone authentication screen. And this time I'll define the stateful widget phone auth screen and I'll call this screen on the child of this container. And I'll return the stack because we have required the close icon on the top right corner of this dialog. That's why we are going to use this stack. Inside the children, I'll define the column and I'll set the main axis alignment tends to center initially, and next children, and first I'll set the some height from the top of this dialog. I'll just set the height 10. After that, there is the text and name called phone authentication and simple style. Let's see how is it look. Okay, perfect. I'll just do one thing. This is main axis size dot mean. If we set it, then it will only text the required space. Okay, after this phone authentication text, again I'll use this size box, and next things is instead of passing the country code every time, we'll use the Intel phone field. This package provide the country flag with its code. Okay, just import this package in your pubspec.yml file and it is usable. I'll just import this package. I have already added this package in my system and I'll call this package here Intel phone field. Simply I'll decorate this field decoration, input decoration. Inside the input decoration, first thing that I have passed is the label text. Inside label where I have defined the phone number and I'll set border outline input border. Simple and clear. Next things is initial country code. I'll set the initial country code will be the my country code. You can set your country code or the app that you are going to focus on which country, or if you are launching this app, then by using the user current location, then you can set this country code. Currently I'll do it the static way. On country change, inside this will update the country code when user change the country. Just I'll save it and I'll see how is it look. First I'll restart and let's see. Okay, perfect. After this simple UI, next we have required the button here. Before that, I'll create the another file inside the service here and give the name called phone auth service dot. Here we have write the code to handle all the authentication and send code logic and verify this code logic here. You already know that we are going to use the riverport as our state management tools. If we are going to use the riverport, then we have required the auth model to make it easier to achieve all this state. This auth state class encapsulate the authentication state, including is loading, error, verification ID, and phone number. And this copy with method allow immutable state update. Okay, here we have defined the state class to hold the authentication related data, and in here we have create a new auth state instance with update variable preserving on change once. This will be the simple model. After this model, we have used this model inside the auth notifier. Okay, I'll create the class and give the name, and I'll give the class name called auth notifier, and I'll extend it with state notifier. Inside this state notifier, I'll call this auth state model. I'll initialize it with default auth state, super auth state. This auth notifier manages authentication logic and all the state. After initializing with default auth state, we'll send the OTP to the provided phone number using Firebase authentication. Before that, first you need to go to the sign in method. You have already know that if you are going to use the Firebase, then you need to set up your Flutter project with Firebase. Just enable the phone number. Okay, just add new provider and click here and just enable the phone number. I'll use the future function, which is the void, and I'll give the name of this function called send verification code. To send the verification code, we have required the two things required: string phone number and builder context. Import the material.dart. Okay, this phone number contain the full number including the country code, and this builder context for navigation and showing snack bar. And I'll make this function async. Inside this, first we'll validate the phone number if phone number dot is empty or phone number dot length is less than 7. Why I am going to set this? Some country have only 7 number code, but if you wants to ignore it, you can easily ignore it, because Intel phone will automatically valid the phone number according to the country. Just if you have select the Afghanistan, here only the 9 number is here. If you select the some other country like Australia, then here is also a 9 number. But if you have choose country like Nepal, India, here there is the more number. In India, here is the 10 number. Okay, we'll check if phone number is empty and phone number is less than the 7 digit, then we have display the please enter a valid phone number. Next things will be, we'll set the loading state and store the phone number. State dot copy with is loading, initially set it true, error will be null, and phone number will be the phone number that takes from the user. I'll use the try catch method to handle the remaining operation for verifying phone number. Inside this try catch, first I'll initialize the Firebase phone number verification. To verify Firebase phone number, we have used the Firebase Auth package .instance .verification phone number. If you have not added the Firebase Auth package, then add it. We have already added Firebase Auth package during email password authentication. To verify phone number, it will require the 4 things. First will be the verification completed, verification failure, code send, and code auto retrieval timeout. And we have add the phone number here. This phone number contains the full phone number with country code. Second, verification completed. Call when verification is completed automatically. To do it, we have used the phone auth credential. Inside the try catch of verification completed, first we'll sign in with the auto retrieval credential. Await Firebase auth.instance.sign in with credential. State if verification is complete automatically, then we have set the is loading tends to false and clear loading state, and navigate it to the home screen. Navigation helper dot push replacement, and I have defined the home screen. If you have missed our previous tutorial, then this navigation helper, we have defined the all navigation process here for reusing. Inside this navigation helper, we have defined the push, pop, replacement, push and remove, all the process. Instead of copy and paste in each and everywhere, we have just created the one common class called goRoute, and we have called this function, this class, on the average screen. And update state with error if sign in fail. First it off the loading indicator and display the error. Is loading false means loading is completed. If verification is completed automatically, then loading indicator is false and navigate to the home screen. If any error, then still loading is false and show the error message. Call when verification is fail. The main reason will be the invalid phone number. For verification fail, we have called the Firebase Auth exception and update state with the error message. The error message will be the same that I have copied, and for code send, it will be called when OTP is sent successfully. If code send successful, then we have update the state with verification ID and clear the loading. Again, I'll copy this and just modify state.copy with is loading tends to false, and for error will be the null. If code send successfully, then there is no any error. In verification ID, we have set the verification ID that we have defined here. Okay, then at the same time, if code send successfully, we have do the 2 things. First, if code send will successfully, then we will navigate navigator.push on the code send screen. I'll just create the code send screen here. New file, name called OTP screen dot stateful widget and OTP screen, and we are going to call this screen here if OTP is successfully sent. And at the same time, we have also show the snack bar to confirm the OTP is successfully sent. If the code sends successful, then we will navigate it to the OTP screen and confirm with the snack bar OTP sent in your phone number. At this time, we have also created the common snack bar. We have used snack bar many times. That's why I'll design the simple snack bar for easy and clean. Last, call when auto retrieval timeout. No action needed here. If timeout will happen, on catch, we have display the error message. Okay, this will be the code for send verification code. Next, we'll code for the verify OTP. Same future function, give the name called verify OTP. To verify OTP, again we have required the two parameter. I'll copy from here and paste it. First will be the OTP and second will be the builder context. Inside here, again we have validate. I'll copy this two. We have used this on both the screen. Instead of phone number, we have used the OTP here, but OTP will be the 6 digit. If OTP is empty and OTP.length will be less than 6, then we'll show the error message with please enter a valid 6-digit OTP, and we'll set the loading state. Loading state will be true and error will be null. Phone number, there will be the no phone number in OTP. And we have verify OTP inside the try catch. First will be the create phone auth credential using verification ID and the OTP. Final, I'll give the name called credential. For that, phone auth provider dot credential. It will takes only the two things. This will be the verification ID and SMS code. Verification ID will be the state dot verification ID and SMS code will be the OTP. And we have sign in with this credential. Await firebase.auth.instance.sign in with credential. Okay, and if the verify success, then we have clear the loading state and navigate to the home screen and update the state with error if verification fail. That's it for verification OTP. Here what we have to, this is the simple. If verification is success, then we'll navigate it to the home screen. If unsuccess, then show the error message. Here is the 4 condition. If verification auto complete, then we'll navigate to the home screen. That means if you have already authenticated using the phone number and you have used the keep user login feature, then it will directly navigate to the home screen. If the verification fail state, then we have show the Firebase exception. If the code sent will be success, then navigate to the OTP screen, and if code auth retrieval timeout, and there will be the nothing. Okay, last one thing, that will be the auth provider. The RiverPod provider makes the auth notifier and its state accessible to both the screen, enabling share state management. We will create the RiverPod provider for auth notifier, making it accessible across the app. Final, auth provider, it will take the state notifier provider from auth notifier and the model auth state. Inside it, first thing ref, and it will return the auth notifier. That's it, nothing complex. Okay, we have successfully handled all the things using RiverPod. Now we'll implement this in our UI. First, on the phone auth screen, first thing that I will create the phone authentication controller, text reading controller. I'll give name to the phone controller, and next things is country, default country code. I'll set it to my country code, which is 977, and I'll forget to dispose every time. This time I'll remember it and I'll dispose it, and I'll dispose the text editing controller here, phone controller dot dispose. And we need to call the RiverPod provider here, the ref.watch. To use the RiverPod, first we need to make the stateful widget to consumer stateful widget, and the state will be the consumer state. Okay, after that we can easily use RiverPod in our system. Final, auth state will be ref.watch auth provider. This auth provider is from this phone auth service provider. Okay, this ref.watch retrieve the current authentication to display the loading indicator when each loading is true, and watch auth provider for state change. All the state change, we have called all the state change by using this provider. Next things, I'll define the ref.listen. Inside this listen for error and display them using snack bar. We have used this ref.listen in RiverPod for error and display them using the snack bar. Auth provider, and I'll check if next.error not equal to null, then my snack bar message will be the next.error. That's it. Inside this input phone field, I'll call the controller here and set the phone controller that I'll define. And on country change, I'll update the country code when user change the country. Input phone field task will be completed. Next, we have required the one send code button here. I'll text the size box. The height of the size box will be 10, and I'll check if auth state.isLoading true, then show the circular progress indicator. Otherwise, display the button. I'll set the padding 30 on horizontal and 10 from vertical. The child of this padding will be the my button that we have commonly create, and the text of this button will be the send OTP. The color of this button will be the green. Okay, inside this button we have combined the country code and phone number. Final phone number is combined from the country code and the text that we have provided inside this text field. Okay, this phone number will be used during sending the OTP. We have triggered the OTP sending through the auth notifier. Ref.read auth provider.notifier.send verification code. It will take phone number and the context. This phone number will be the combination of the country code and the number that we have provided inside this text field. Last things on this screen will be the close icon. If we want to close this dialog box, then you can click here, or we have also created the one close icon here. After the column, I'll define the position widget. Position widget will be only used inside the stack widget. The on press of this icon button will be the navigator.pop, and icon will be icons.close. And I'll set the position right -20 and top also -20. Okay, if we set the minus on the position, then we need to also set the clip behavior. By default, clip behavior clip.none. By default, it will be the clip.hardEdge. If we set it, then icon will be clearly visible. Next, we'll dive into the OTP screen here. Inside the OTP screen, I'll call the sum field from the phone auth screen. I'll copy this all and paste it here. Okay, I'll just copy and paste it here, and again I'll make it the consumer stateful widget, and I'll set the state to the consumer state. If you are using the RiverPod for first time, then you need to set the provider scope on your main screen. I have already set it. Then let's import the phone auth service and the snack bar and return the scaffold. Here, first things on this screen, I'll set the background color will be the white, and inside the body I'll use the safe area widget, and the child of this safe area will be column. And we have used the image that we have from the asset login, and we have the OTP image here. We have used this image in our OTP screen, and I have set the 10 height and the OTP verification text. Next, again we have the one text which is called we need to register your phone number by using a one-time OTP code verification. Okay, after this text we have required the one text field. Inside this text field we have passed the 6-digit OTP code. To pass the OTP, I have just called the text field. Inside the text field, here is the controller, and I'll set the OTP controller, and the max length of this text field will be the 6, and input format will be the digit only. And let's import the Flutter service dot, and keyboard type will be the number. Inside the decoration we have the label in text will be the enter OTP, and label text will be the OTP code. Last, we have the button show the loading indicator based on the auth state. Auth state dot is loading true, then we have display the circular progress indicator. If false, then we have only display the elevated button. The text of this button will be the verify OTP. Style, text style, I'll set font weight will be the bold, color white, and font size 16. After that, I'll add the simple style on this elevated button. Style elevated button dot style form, background color will be the green, and padding will be the 40 on horizontal and 15 will be the vertical. Inside the on press, we'll call the verify OTP function from the phone auth service. Ref.read, we have read the auth provider dot notifier dot verify OTP. OTP, we have get OTP from the OTP controller dot text dot trim, and context will be the builder context. And that's it. Everything will be completed. I'll save it. I'll reset the app, and first I'll display you my Firebase console. Here in user, currently we have just the 2 email provider is here. Let's try to use a phone number provider. I'll click the login with phone. It will open the dialog box. Inside this dialog, if I try to log in the phone number 1, it will automatically verified until you have provided the actual phone number. I have provided the actual phone number here, and if I send the OTP, then we have faced the error. Why? We need to two things to verify the actual OTP. You can see the OTP will be sent successfully. Why? I have used the test account here. In sign in method, I have added this phone number for testing purpose. You can see I have added this phone number and OTP for testing purpose. I'll pass the OTP 098765 and I'll verify. First it show the loading indicator, phone authentication success. It will navigate to the home screen and display the logout. I'll just log out from here and I'll just delete this testing phone number. I'll just remove it from here. I'll show you which error that we have faced, and I have just removed this phone number. That's why provider will be also removed. I'll again show you. This is not a matter. I'll restart the app and again log in with phone, and I'll provide the phone number and I'll send the OTP. You can see we have faced an error. Why? To achieve the phone number authentication in our device, first we need to add a billing account. If you want to try a actual phone number authentication, then we need to upgrade our project by using use and billing. You need to add your billing project first things, and second things is we can't test the phone number authentication in virtual device. You need to use your real device. With the latest update of Firebase, you must need to use your real device to try the phone authentication. Here you can see if you try to phone authentication on Android, it will display this error on the console which is called billing not enabled. If you want to achieve the real phone number authentication, then you need to add the billing account. For practice purpose, you can use the testing mode. Firebase provide a testing mode for developer and beginner. Okay, again I'll add this number here. Go to the sign in method. Inside this phone, for developer purpose and for learning purpose, Firebase provide the phone number for testing. I'll provide my phone number with the country code, and verification code will be the 123456, and I'll just add it. Go to the user section, reload the Firebase console, reload the app, and last let's try again. I have provided my valid phone number with my country code. If this is not your country code, then you can pick it from here. Okay, just send the OTP. First it verify you are robot or not. If you are using first time, OTP send in your phone number, and I'll provide my OTP that I have set for the testing purpose 123456, and I just verify it. This time we have successfully authenticated. Okay, by this way we can successfully use phone number authentication in our Flutter app. We have already completed email password authentication. This time we have completed the phone number authentication. In next part we'll continue with the Google authentication. Okay, bye bye. We'll meet you on the next video.